Okay, just out in the American barn and just having to listen to the boys on 7100, but I need their antenna. See you, Indy. Right. Okay, I do need their antenna though. So what do we got here? We've got a Lincoln Mk2. Now, this one comes with its original box, and as you can see, brackets, power cords, etc, etc. So yeah, look, but I the other day had a bit of a play with this, and this sort of got left on the bench here. I had a couple of interesting circumstances where I ended up back in bed, but anyway, it's now Tuesday and I am back alive again, so these things are going to happen from time to time. So without going into massive details and boring everybody, I am A-OK and just back at the grind. Anyway, so let's have a bit of a look at the Lincoln 2, which has been sort of sold in a few different brandings and face, there's Grant 2s, there's Lincoln 2s, there's different, I mean, sorry, that's not exactly the same, but yes, there are sort of other radios that sort of mimic the same features and bits and pieces, very, very, very similar. I just realised it's warm out here. I'm just going to put the air conditioner on, so hang on. Okay, so that's better. A bit of cool air coming past us here. Always a lot better out in the barn. We use one of these industrial selectors that are full of water and basically just get a bit of cold air running around, but certainly does the trick. All right. So this is a very multifunctional. Let's not kid ourselves. Probably they made this more for the CB market in a lot of respects. Fortunately, they did a lot of things that made the amateur really take notice as well. But they do market them as an amateur radio. There's no question a brand that primarily has been CB all its life suddenly decided to put the word amateur radio on it, and I'm sure the FCC had a little bit to do with that. But automatic scorch control, worldwide patent. I don't know if that really paid off for them so much, to be honest. Not sure it's worth the patent cost. Okay, hearing someone in the background there on 490, and let's not even get into the is 28490 a cool channel or not. That subject on Facebook has been doing the rounds, and my view, just very quickly, is that when in doubt, just go down, go up, change frequency. Don't worry about it. Just I call anywhere on 28 megs, and anywhere between normally about 28,400 to 28,550. I can literally just pick a frequency there and say, right, put a call out. Someone finds me on their band scope. So generally, not too hard. Now you'll have to forgive me. It's been a few days since I was actually in front of this, so part of me is just trying to remember some of the actual buttons and what they do. So split on and off is there. Mode. So as you can see, AM, FM, USB, LSB, CW, and PA, and adjustable mic level for your PA. Okay. Anyway, all right. So very nice. The other thing that these do, which we'll get into the obviously the realms of what these radios can do frequency-wise, and I'm actually in the wrong mode here to do this correctly at the moment, but that's all right. It'll still show up. It'll all be set at different levels, different just depending on where it was last used. Let's go for okay. Now, let's try and remember, is it that one there? No. You know what I'm trying to remember? Ah, yeah, there we go. You push the button there, of course. It's all right. I was just trying to remember how to change the kilohertz incrementals, and VK3 Charlie Mike testing on 28490. Wonder if anyone's listening at all. The VK3 Charlie Mike just out in the American barn on a small whip. conditions have been exceptional on 10 metres lately. If you are a 10 metre fanatic, this is your time to cash in and enjoy. It really has been. And by the way, I set this up on the power meter earlier, earlier being a few days ago, and yeah, you're getting 30 watts out of one of these things nicely. And a lot of people think they're 50 to 100 watts, but you know, you just got to look at the heat sinking to say, well, no, they're not. But they're a very generous 30 watts, no probs, and obviously come with a RF power control on the front just to wind it back if needed, but I can't imagine you need to do that. Oh, there's a few silly things, of course. They come with echo, which, you know, probably not going to use too much. Roger beep, which just goes beep, etc, etc. But, you know, some people have a bit of fun with some of those things. But it's really, the thing I like about it the most is just how fast I can sort of go, all right, I want to head myself up to 29.6. Now, obviously, you can put these things in memory. I'm a big FM fanatic, and so for me, putting this on FM, that's on auto squelch at the moment. So when you go down to the bottom, auto squelch control, you get that little sort of like hysteresis, and then bang, etc, etc. And but now we're on, once we get back to frequency, 29.6, VK3 Charlie Mike just testing 29.6. If anyone's listening, feel free to come back. And it's joking. Oh, shit. Looks like every man and his dog's on it. Sorry, guys. Beautiful day here, wall to wall blue. Wow. And, that's the first time that's happened on a video. That's good. About to shoot downtown, and I thought I'll have a quick listen on the wireless. Over. G'day, guys. VK3 Charlie Mike Tangambalanga. Let's turn that squelch down so we can hear right into the noise. We may not be hearing the other station, but there you go. It just shows you a little bit average on that signal then. Just getting into my noise now. VK3 Charlie Mike here. VK3 Charlie Mike up in northeast Victoria. I wonder if you copy it all. Well, good to see other people using 29.6, but as you can see, it's not quite in position just yet. Wherever that station may be, it's a little bit average, but once the band opens up completely, doesn't matter where he is, 10's been going so hot, you'll see him full scale. Oh, what a pity. I almost feel like we could have got to him a little bit earlier, and it might have been good. VK3 Charlie Mike, just on my noise at the moment if you're calling me, sorry. Wow, well, that is at least proving there is some activity on 29.6 at times, and there's a lot more there than, you know, I'm showing. There's when we're on the base station swinging the beam around, it really can be a whole lot of fun. Let's just put it back to a bit of noise again. No, I think that station might have dropped out. I just don't want to call on there if he's actually having a conversation. Once again, 29.6. You know, we all respect it for what it is, but we're all guilty of having a bit of a chat on there sometimes. And honestly, don't think that's a bad thing, because sometimes, you know, to know the band's open, sometimes, 99 people out of 100, they'll move off if they think they're, you know, sort of interfering. But for me, look at that, you know, straight away, I know 10's open to somewhere, not sure where. He definitely sounded Australian, but yeah, so I don't know, there's twos and fros on these call channel arguments. I think it's just a matter of common sense, which, you know, anyway. Now, on this radio, look, it's reasonably clean. It's not new. I just want to make that very clear. It's definitely not new. This was actually owned by a very good friend of mine who unfortunately is a silent key, Bill, VK2KT, and unfortunately cancer got Bill last year, and it was a pretty emotional time for all of us, because our was a good guy, and we're certainly missing the old guy. But and I suppose that's the point. I shouldn't even say that. He wasn't that old. He's definitely too young. But anyway, Bill used this for quite a bit, and I can't remember. We traded this with some other gear to upgrade him to something back on the day, and yeah, quite surprised that it came in the box and everything. It was quite a bonus, but it's certainly I want to just make sure this fits the category of it is a used radio. Hang on. Sometimes we have radios which I can say, look, they're just out of the box, blah blah blah, brand new, new old stock, but this is not the case. VK3 Charlie Mike listening on 29.6. If anyone's hearing me, certainly feel free to come back. Yeah, I think she's gone back to. We'll see how the day pans out. It does have its little periods where it will go a bit quiet. Anyway, you can see what it does. I won't bother to show the CB functions of these radios to you. So I'm just getting a bit. That's better. My arm was getting a bit sore where it was. Yeah, I won't sort of try and show you what it does on CB radio, because I get phone calls from people that really care about that. It's a bit of an issue. So as you know, we certainly try and keep it as legal as possible. A lot of these radios will do things that they're not meant to do. Look, I'm a collector. I love the various facets of every radio we've got, and I just think the trick is to use them sensibly. This here, if you're an amateur radio operator, you can legally own it. You can legally use it on 29.6, 28490. No, you can't use it on 27355, but hundreds of people seem to be posting YouTube videos of this exact radio with them talking to the US in Australia on these radios on 27355. So ACM may be having a bit of a shot at me at times for different things, and we've sort of had that discussion. But the truth is that I am not Australia's greatest offender of that sort of stuff. I hardly talk on CB, so I don't really understand I don't know. I think this is an issue that is never going to be solved. I think there's going to be various opinions on it for virtually, time immemorial. Are you doing that much damage using something like this on 27355? Probably not. It's the type approval. It's a legality question. It's the type approval thing. It's the fact that it's not 12 watts. It's the fact that it does multiple frequencies. But let's look at maybe just one of the common sense reasons ACMA might have an issue. Let's go here. Whoops. Okay, so we're on 27880. Sorry, I did something stupid then. I was on 27880. God, sorry, I hit the wrong button being asleep just about. I'm still coming back from a few hard days. 27880. What I was going to hit was mode. I was going to put it into AM. I mean, this radio will transmit on what is the marine distress frequency. Now, some people will argue, everybody's gone VHF. Well, no, that's not entirely true. No, people still use 27880. There are still marine bases set up to service it, and people interfering on this frequency can be in a lot of trouble. So the trick to not interfering on this frequency is to not have a radio that does it. That is ACMA's major issue with a lot of these radios. Problem is that there are a number of amateur radios that came out that back in the 60s, 70s that did cover 11 meters, did cover up into this area as well, and can literally be used in the wrong hands the wrong way. So yeah, look, I'm not going to totally say ACMA don't have a point, because they do. They certainly do. There are some things that need to be thought about. I think it's madness at the moment to get on 27 megs and not use one of the 40 channels, as in 26965 to 27405 in 10kc allotments, bar the gaps. The minute that you're up on 27555 or you're up on any of those frequencies, you better bet that you are standing out like a a sore thumb. And your day may not be today, and it may not be tomorrow, but they're recording so much these days, and I do know some of the internals of ACMA, what they're up to, and they're just waiting for a new act to come through where they can actually probably do a lot more. So, just be smart about what you're doing, and I think is probably the key. I'm not a great CB user, so I've got to be honest. I got on the other day and I had a quick word to a few people on 35 who, it was a pleasure. All these New Zealand guys coming back, having a chat. I'm using the SBE Console 6, I'm only using, 12 watts of power. Unbelievable conditions, etc. But, that's probably the first time I've done that in a very, very long time for about, 20 minutes. And that's my burst of 27 megs for the year. That's me. I'm a 10 meter fanatic. I'm up here on 490. That's what I enjoy doing, and that's it. So there you go. All right, well, look, enough of the sermon on why I love 10 meters. I will say this, I do use 11 meters as a listening tool for propagation, no question. Sometimes 10 meters we don't have the same number of users and the same number of people. Just check this band's one going around. The same number of people that are using the frequency. So propagation may well be open, and we're not seeing it. I'll have a bit of a look. So sometimes, get someone there a second. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll wait for the propagation on channel 35 to come up, get a bit of a rough idea where it's coming from, and then shoot the beam in the same direction up on 490. Hey presto, the other day we had Korea, we had, sort of New Zealand, had US, etc. And it is a remarkably good tool to be used that way. All right, 10's a bit dead at the moment. One last call before we end this video. VK3 Charlie Mike testing on 28490. VK3 Charlie Mike testing 1 2 3. Anybody hear us at all? You just never know. This band is sometimes open and nobody's talking, and that's the thing about 10. We don't have the numbers like CB does. If I went down to CB right now, who knows? It could be booming. Look, without transmitting, let's do that. You know what? I'm going to just do it this way. Where am I going? Okay. Yeah. Now you can set memories, etc. I just haven't obviously got to that stage on this. 355. Right. So now we're in virtually 40 channel mode. No, it is quiet down here at the moment. Sorry, we're on upper sideband, aren't we? Try that. A little bit of noise in the background there. Just check the other channels to see if... No, it's... See, and once again, this radio here serves as a 40 channel CB, but here's the problem, and keeps going, 43544, etc. So, not legal, blah blah blah. Won't carry on about it, but just the facts. Okay, all right. Well, look, I've had fun playing around with this. I think sometimes these videos I do rave on a bit because I'm playing with the thing myself while I'm still filming. I probably should play with the radio before then do the video, but sometimes it's a bit of fun, isn't it? And mode back to upper sideband, of course. All right, thanks very much for having a look at this. Mk2, it's not a bad little chassis. It really isn't. This one will be sold. Box books and everything that's there, as I said, is used, but it is pretty reasonable for what it is. I was about to say Bill looked after his radios, but I've seen a few of Bill's radios were interesting. We had some that were like mint from Bill, and others where he'd fitted them into the fronts of cars with surrounds around them and done lots of things. They look beautiful when they're in there, but they're a pain to get out. Good memories of Bill anyway. So a bit of a tribute to VK2KT. Bill was a really good guy, and he certainly got a lot of people into the hobby. He was an examiner, by the way, so certainly good to have a bit of a tribute to Bill and one of his radios. This is one of his more minor radios. He had a lot of different radios, of course. All right, 73s. Thanks for having a look at this video. All the best, and we'll get another one to you soon. Cheers.